178. So Barrett, a solid ball player, as Boggs takes off and hits the runway.
Did you see him look at the outfield when he was rounding second base? On a play like that, the play's in front of you, you make up your own mind, and he did.
So 2 strikeouts and then 2 singles up the middle. And here's Buckner, who was singled and was aboard on the error by Santana. 4-1. 2-0 Boston, trying to open it some more. From third, Marty Barrett at first, held on by Hernandez. Gooden trying to get the last out in the 4th. Ball 2. On deck, Jim Rice. Making Gooden wait, and Dwight just blowing on his hand. 2-0. That pitch, by the way, is the 80th pitch, 8-0, made by Gooden, and we're only in the 4th inning.
His average pitches per 9 innings in 12 starts, they took it as 123.9, 124 pitches. That's his average, so he's heading for trouble.
3-0, the count to Bill Buckner, 2 out. Runners at first and third, 2-0 Boston, and they are stirring around in the Mets bullpen. Gooden started the inning by striking out Henderson and Owen, but he's given up 2 singles and he's behind to Buckner. Rick Aguilera is up in the Mets pen. 3-0 in there. There's Aguilera, and he'll have company. Sid Fernandez. You're talking about Gooden from Florida. How about a kid from Hawaii pitching tonight? And in Fenway. Marty Barrett. At third, Wade Boggs. 2 out, 3-1 the count to Bill Buckner. Lined and grabbed by Hernandez. Short hopped it, and Keith brought it to the bag. We had to look at Dale Ford to make sure that ball was in play. So Gooden is out of the trouble. At the end of 4, Boston 2 and the Mets nothing, and a good play by Keith Hernandez. We'll be right back after these messages from your local station. Tonight's game is brought to you by Nikon. We take the world's greatest pictures. And by E.F. Hutton. When E.F. Hutton talks, people listen. Kevin Mitchell, followed by Mookie Wilson and then Rafael Santana. Top of the 5th inning, 2-0 Boston. Hit off the end of the bat, a dunker to right for a base hit for Mitchell. Kevin way out in front of it and cued it into right field.
Then we were talking about the pitches made by Gooden, 82, and in 4 innings, Hurst with that one has made 64. So it shows you quite a difference.
Big difference. And a difference on the scoreboard, 2-0 Boston as Mookie Wilson comes up. Mookie struck out in the 3rd inning. Sox scored in the 2nd inning. Henderson tripled and Owen picked him up with a fly ball. And Boston won more on the error by Santana and eventually a base hit by Evans. Split finger job, the bottom coming out of that. 0-1 to count to Mookie. Bruce Hurst, 28 years old, out of St. George, Utah, with 4 shutouts here this year. One ball, 1 strike. Mookie checking Buddy Harrelson at third to see if there might be a play on. Mitchell held on by Buckner. Harrelson wandering around down there. There are 2 men again out of the Mets dugout in the area of the on-deck circle. You have Santana, the next hitter, and Len Dykstra. Remember, they sent Tuffle back earlier in the 3rd. That's hit to the hole, base hit to right field. Mitchell a look at second. He will hold. They know that Evans has the best arm in the outfield. So the tying runs are aboard with nobody out. Santana and Dykstra coming up.
Santana, he's walking right towards Buddy Harrelson. He's where they hit Fungo's looking right at him.
One of the oldest expressions in baseball, you play to win on the road and you play to tie at home, meaning on the road you would have your hitter hitting in this spot, and at home you'd have him playing sacrifice to get the runners in scoring position to tie it up. However, you throw that book out the window, especially in the World Series.
I would look for bunt all the way there.
Santana, by the way, has only sacrificed once this year.
Look at Buckner.
He needs a head start, and the bunt fouled away. And Gedman kind of stepped on Santana. He did. Rich Gedman whirled around and caught Santana a little bit on the foot, the right foot.
Instinctively behind the plate, when that ball hits that bat, you break forward, and he'll kind of move forward. And
watch now, right?
He's looking for the ball.
Right there. Got it.
He didn't break at all. He's just looking for the ball and stepped right on his foot.
0-1 to count to Raphael. The bunt up along third. Good bunt. Barehanded by Boggs to Barrett in time. So he lays down a dandy, and the tying runs are at second and third with Lenny Dykstra coming up.
That was almost a base hit. I'm telling you, that was a great bunt. He gets it past the pitcher, and Wade Boggs has to barehand that ball, and it's a tremendous play by Boggs to get Santana. That was a beautiful bunt.
So second and third, 1 out, and Len Dykstra the batter, and it's hand blowing time for Bruce Hurst. Two runs, 6 hits for Boston. No runs, 5 hits for the Mets. Dykstra grounded out and singled. Having a big series. So the tying runs are out there. Wilson at second, Mitchell at third, 1 out, top of the 5th. With a big curveball that stayed up. Ball 1. I would think it's particularly tough to get that curveball breaking.
That ball is slick, and that's the problem. That's why you see all that blowing in the hands.
1-0.
It is really swirling too. You can see Dykstra may have gotten something in his eye.
He did. Second and third. Boggs up inside the bag at third. And that's a big rainbow. Dykstra gesturing he thought it was high, and Ed Montague gestures back to him that it dipped into the zone. 1-1.
It's a big breaking curveball. Now Dykstra's not sure of it, and he turns and he'll ask about it. I thought that ball was high. Was it high? No, says Montague.
1-1. fastball, and he fouled it away. And Dykstra thought he had his pitch. He was looking fastball and angrily kicked at the dirt. Well, the runners holding at second and third, 1-2. Outside of plain missing it, I guess to get the ball you're looking for and fouling it off is just as frustrating.
For the good hitter it is. Of course, a kid like Dykstra, he's almost like Burleson, you know, bearing down. I mean, when he doesn't do what he thinks he should do, he's mad at himself.
1-2 to Lenny. Fastball got him, and he went in for a borderline pitch.
A high fastball. The curveball was a call strike, and he went after the high fastball. He battled it, and the fans are really giving it to him, but he's reacting like the professional that he is.
Well, a borderline fastball somewhere up around the letter.
Look at that expression on his face. He saw it all the way. He just didn't get it. Hurst was much better.
And he also tried to uppercut it, I guess thinking about trying to at least hit a fly ball, and did he ever come up empty? So with 2 down in second and third, Tim Tuffle doubled to right center, flied to left. He has 3 hits against Hurst in the series.
You measure a pitcher by what does he do with the man at third base and less than 2 outs. And Hurst just gave you a pretty good answer.
In there. Wally Backman, the man he replaced, has to stay in the dugout and hang in there.
You see what he's doing? Keeping his hands warm in case he has to play.
1-1. Slow curve. Strike 2.
You know, Vin, there are statistics that tell you a story like quality starts and the rest of them run average. But when you see a guy do what this guy's doing right now, here's a slow curveball, and you'll see the rotation of it. Drop right in for a strike.
And listen to this crowd now. Ground ball wide to third. Boggs has it. He's out of the jam. The Mets leave runners at second and third, and it remains 2-0 Boston. Fenway Park, bottom of the 5th inning. We're honored with the presence of the Secretary of State, George Shultz, taking in tonight's game. Jim Rice, Don Baylor, and Dwight Evans coming up in the bottom of the 5th inning. Rice an infield single and walk, 1 for 1. That was a fairly lengthy top of the 5th inning. So you wonder about Gooden stiffening up in the cool of the evening. Rice, meanwhile, waiting to get his licks in, leading off. And Gooden behind 2-0.
Good Jim Rice now. He missed with 2 fastballs. What would you be sitting on?
Well, he was very effective with the curveballs to Baylor.
Well, if he throws him a curveball, I got to believe he'll take it for a strike.
2-0. Fastball, and he went after it. He couldn't lay off it. He was out of the strike zone, and the count 2-1.
He had made up his mind that he was going to go on a fastball, and it was a high. You can see it now. Look at him bear down and watch those eyes open up. That high fastball, tough to lay off of, and he knew it. Look at that. It was painful.
And that's it late and foul down the right field line, out of play. I was just thinking at that look of anguish on the face of Jim Rice, and out in center field, Lenny Dykstra standing there saying, yeah, tell me about it. Remember that high fastball he swung out and missed, leaving runners at second and third. Two and two. Curveball hit in the air, and Dykstra on his horse, and the wind is blowing it in off against the bullpen. Rice is on his way to third, and Strawberry's throw, not in time. A wind-blown triple. That was almost a home run.
You could really see it tail off to the right, almost like in golf it would be a slice. It's a high towering drive. The wind gets it. It would be drifting away anyhow, but the wind really takes it away from Dykstra, and it's just a foot or so from a home run. You see it hit the top and almost the frustration in that bullpen. And Strawberry, by the time he gets up with a 3-base hit, and now Hernandez is playing him, but everybody else is back.
Baylor, Evans, and Gedman trying to pick him up. 2-0 Boston in the 5th inning. In the dirt, a good save by Carter.
It was very close to a home run, and you can see how close. Look at that. Oh. It's another one of those angles, Vin, in this ballpark. You just don't know which way it's going to come back.
It's like being inside a pinball machine.
Exactly.
1 ball and no strikes to Don Baylor, hit by a pitch in the 1st inning and struck out in the 3rd.
It's been curveballs that Gooden has been using to get Baylor.
1-0. And that's looped into right field. Base hit and the run.
Tried to jam him with the fastball.
But Dwight Gooden, who trailed 4-2 and 6-2 and had to go out. Jim Rice hollering encouragement out of the dugout. And Baylor standing at first. A modest thing and thine own. A bloop single to right for the RBI.
He's giving a needle to Baylor because he got jammed on that pitch. He just fisted it over there. That's what he's doing. He's sticking a needle in Baylor.
3-0 Boston on 8 hits. And the batter is Dwight Evans, flied to left, single to center. And the bunt foul. 0-1.
Playing so deep. Knight is back, and Hernandez way wide of first base. Rice is really having some fun with Baylor, because Gooden did throw a good fastball. He did jam him, but as strong as he is, he's right on top of that plate, and he just plunked one into right field.
So a long windbone triple by Jim Rice, a bloop single to right by Baylor, and the Sox pick up another. And Sid Fernandez, the left-hander throwing in the Mets bullpen. Evans talking to plate umpire Ed Montague.
The balloon over there in center field is bouncing around, very distracted.
Yeah.
That's what it is, or a beach ball. There it is.
There's extra enthusiasm here at Fenway Park. Not only the importance of the game, it's game 5. Fall is here and winter is just around the corner, and it is the last game of the year to be played at historic Fenway for 1986. And the folks who are here are going to get the most out of it. 0-1 to Evans. Baylor at first. Nobody out. 3-0 Boston. 5th inning. High foul out of play.
It's kind of a cat and mouse game that Baylor and Hernandez are playing. Hernandez is playing so wide, and he gets right behind Baylor, and when Baylor kind of sees that, he tries to screen Hernandez, and they were kind of dancing back there.
You saw the 91 pitches that Gooden has made. Now remember, at 21, he is pitching on 3 days rest for the first time in his career. The last time he pitched, he went 5 innings and gave up 90 pitches. 0-2.
Watch those two over there. Look where Baylor is, right in front of him.
One and 2. On deck, Rich Gedman. So the Sox certainly has the momentum. After all, the Mets had a golden opportunity, second and third, and one out in the fifth, and came up empty. They left Tuffle at third in the first inning. Boston recovered after a bases loaded failure in the first inning to get a run in the second, a run in the third, and another here in the fifth. The wind again swirling, and this time getting Evans. One and two. Fastball, little chin music, and the count 2-2.
You have to pitch inside this ballpark to keep him honest. And Dewey, he just kind of closes his eyes and said, "Oh, I hope I got out of the way in time," and he did.
Baylor with Hernandez directly behind him. Two and two to Dwight Evans. There goes Baylor, and it's fouled away. So they put a play on 2-2, and Evans fouled it off. He's a big man, but he is really considered the best Red Sox base runner.
Tell you, Hernandez way wide, so I guess they're going to take advantage of that, and he had a tremendous jump, of course. Red Sox do not play that kind of baseball. Cat and mouse once again, and Baylor just takes off. I just wonder if he went on his own, Vin.
Well, it's the old story. If you're going to give me something, I'll take it. They're not holding him on.
Because they play station to station, the Red Sox, and wait for the three-run homer.
2-2 to Dwight Evans. Pop foul, breaking ball back into the seats. You can bet they are counting pitches in the Mets dugout. John McNamara counting runs in the Red Sox dugout.
And just because it is so important, in 12 starts, his average pitches were 124. He's pretty close to that right now. 95.
And we're only in the bottom of the fifth inning, so it doesn't figure he's going to make it. Admittedly, it was 10 years ago, but when we said Baylor is acknowledged as one of the better runners on the Red Sox, if not the best, he once stole 52 bases for Oakland. 2-2. And Evans fouls that away.
Just a contrast as far as the number of pitches. Now that's 96 for Gooden. Hurst in the last two innings, he threw 21 pitches and 19 of them for strikes. So when you talk about in command and not in command.
2 balls and 2 strikes to Dwight Evans. Gedman on deck. Rice already in with a run. 3-0 Boston. Again, Evans with something in his eye.
Well, you wonder if it is or whatever. He's having some problems. But what that does to the infield, they get up and then they get down, they get up and they get down, and it's tough to see the good play made behind a pitcher when all this is going on. Now Gooden's going to walk around a while, and the spring goes out of the infielder's legs. I mean, Knight is over there. He's taking his glove off at third base for just a minute.
And that wind straightening the flag out in center field. It's really blowing out to right. Curveball hit to left deep and foul. With that wind blowing, any ball hitting that corner has a chance to wind up fair. But Dewey pulled it too much. Remember the ball that Rice hit that was wind blown off the wall in front of the Red Sox bullpen.
If Dewey Evans was paying for this commercial prime time, he would be costing him a fortune. He's been up there over 6 minutes.
Somebody's happy about that foul ball. 2-2 to Dwight. And he throws high for ball 3. Gooden has 3 strikeouts. That's all. Struck out Baylor on curveballs. Struck out Henderson on a curveball. Struck out 0 on a fastball, but he is not blowing nearly as hard now as he was the first couple of innings.
The gun shows that his fastball velocity's gone down, and that was a high curveball. That is really dangerous.
3-2, so Baylor with Hernandez on the bag now for the first time. Baylor going, and a ground ball to the hole. Base hit into left field, and Baylor on his way to third, and Mookie throws it back into second. And still nobody out. Well, they're going to bring in Sid Fernandez, and I'll tell you what, you've got to figure the Mets are in a lot of trouble. They are trailing 3-0 in the fifth. Johnson is bringing in a man he did not want to use at Fenway Park, Sid Fernandez, and game 6 they go against Roger Clemens.
And the scouting report is to run on the Met outfielders, Wilson, Dykstra, and Strawberry, and you saw Baylor do that.
So Dwight Gooden, for the second time in the series, leaves, and we'll be back. Baseball historians will look at tonight's game, and they will see that Dwight Gooden gave up at least 3 runs and 9 hits. But if he looks at the small print, the historian will also see Tuffle's inability to make a play in the first inning that he should have made. Strawberry's inability to hold Henderson to a double, and he didn't do it, and Santana's error on Buckner's ball, all plays contributing to Gooden's troubles. It made him work harder than he should have had to work, and his needle hit empty here in the 5th inning. So Gooden is gone, and Sid Fernandez coming in. Fernandez in the Gooden game in New York did not retire a batter and gave up 3 hits. Gedman popped to short, fly to center. You have Evans at first, Baylor at third. A run in the bank, 3-0 Boston. Sidearm him with a fastball, 0-2. Gedman with a chance to really lighten the load for Bruce Hurst, trying to pick up Baylor at third. Got him. So Gedman can't do it. He strikes out, and the batter now will be Henderson.
Fernandez can get his strikeouts. Very deceptive. His fastball a little bit quicker than it really appears, and he just went to work on 3 pitches, and he gets Gedman. And that's what he had to do to set up the double play. He's got a double play man up there if he can get the ground ball. That's obviously what he's thinking.
Henderson had a key shot up the alley in right center. Strawberry a late jump and then couldn't cut it off. And Dave then scored on the fly ball by On. Last time up, he struck out on curveballs. He's a fastball hitter, so let's see what Sid Fernandez does with it. 4-1.
With the shot, you saw that ball behind Fernandez many times when as we see Baylor at third, and we got Evans at first. When they grip it across the seam, that's a high riding fastball.
Tried to change up on him. Ball 2, 2-0. Straight change.
Doesn't necessarily mean because he's got it back there like that that's the way it's going to be when he gets it in the glove, but that would be the grip for the high riding fastball.
2-0. Foul back. 2-1. Everybody blowing on his hands now. Henderson 1 for 2. On deck, Spike On, who had a fly ball good enough for an RBI in the 2nd inning. 3-0 Boston, trying for more in the 5th inning. A shot by the inside of Ray Knight and in the corner. Baylor scores. Evans to third. Into second goes Henderson. 4-0 Boston. Charged to Fernandez. The run is charged to Gooden. That's 4. And Rice is still on Baylor's case. He's over that broken bat single.
He's saying a big guy like you hit that little flare.
Baylor's probably saying, hey, it ain't fishing. You don't throw the little ones back.
That's right. But you see, he's the judge, and when they have that kangaroo court, Baylor is, and the man who has to carry out the fines is Rice. So you're going to pay him if Baylor says so, and Rice makes sure.
Well, the infield is up, and here's Spike Owen. Second and third. 1 out. 4-0 Boston. Trying to break it open. Ball 1.
They are really in tight. They're in 2 steps on the grass.
Owen hitting right-handed. When he was batting left-handed against Gooden, that's when he got that fly ball in the RBI.
Looks like a softball defense.
1-0. In there. So the Sox, who were struggling with the bat, they had 2 runs and 7 hits last night, 1 run and 5 hits the night before, have come back tonight with 4 runs and 10 hits, including 2 triples and a double. Mike is a better hitter from this side of the plate. 1-2. Mel Stottlemyre and Davy Johnson, I'm sure, getting that somewhat sinking feeling. From 1-0 to 2-0 to 4-0, and the Sox with 1 out, not through yet. Two and 2. That's only part of the story. You really need asterisk and footnote. That one error is just a portion of the story. Two and 2 to Spike. Henderson at second, Evans at third, 1 out. Fouled away. There's Henderson and there's Evans. And Owen trying to get somebody home. Rene Latchman whispering something now to Dwight Evans.
Gary Carter really checking everything.
2 and 2. And it's punched. A one-hopper smothered by Tuffle. Fakes to the plate and then goes to Hernandez. Good play.
Ball was in tight and really handcuffed him. And Tuffle made a fine play. See how close they are. He was just trying to get a piece of it. Owen was, and look what Tuffle's diving stop. Good play.
Now you have first base open, and Wade Boggs, the batter. Boggs hit back to the box, grounded out, and then singled up the middle in the 4th inning. Ball 1. Marty Barrett on deck.
They don't expect Boggs to pull that ball, so it looks like they'll be throwing him hard stuff because Dykstra's over in left center field.
Fouled away off third, way down the line and upstairs. 1 ball, 1 strike.
The Mets have been out there a long time. You take that Dewey Evans hour that we had, it really took a lot out of him.
I wonder where Bruce Hurst is right now, whether he's sitting in the dugout or if maybe he went up the runway back towards the warmth of the clubhouse. 1-1. 2. 2-1. Fastball foul back. The question, where is Bruce Hurst? In the dugout or back in the warmth of the clubhouse? The answer, in the dugout. And this has been a pretty long inning. Rice tripled, Baylor singled, Evans singled. That was all for Gooden. And then Gedman struck out, Henderson doubled, and Owen grounded out. He'll be pitching to Hernandez, Carter, and Strawberry in the 6th inning. Check swing and a little foul ball.
This is his favorite count, 2-2. Vin, they just told me that the Red Sox have been batting for over 25 minutes. We've had situation comedies that have been on our network that long.
Well, I'll tell you one thing, it's not funny for Bruce Hurst. He's been pitching so well for 5 innings. We'll see whether this autumn chill will affect him.
Could be a factor.
Henderson at second, Evans at third. 2 out, 4-0 Boston in the 5th inning. Fly ball into left field. Mookie Wilson says he has it, and the Sox get 2 and leave 2 on 2 singles, a double and a triple, and a big play by Tuffle. At the end of 5, 4-0 Boston, and Hurst goes back to work. Well, 2 thoughts: the number of pitches and how long he sat in the dugout. We'll see if it has any effect on him. Keith Hernandez, Gary Carter, and Darryl Strawberry, top of the 6th inning. The Red Sox 4 and the Mets nothing. Hernandez grounded out with a runner at second and flied to left with runners at first and second. Ball 1, missing with the curve. The wind is blowing from left center straight across to the right field foul line, at least for the moment. Ball 2.
Tell you, he showed me something coming out on the very first pitch with the 4-run lead, trying to get the curveball over. He's going to have to almost try to find the pitches that he had when he was going so well.
2-0. On the corner, 2-1. It up nicely. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Time is called. Unfortunately, I think a youngster got hit, and Hernandez is concerned. I tell you, ball players, reality sets in.